there, welcome back to our Harkla YouTube channel. We're so happy to have you here with us today. I'm Rachel.
And I'm Jessica. We are the Certified Occupational Therapy Assistants with Harkla. Today we're going to talk about 4 ways that retained primitive reflexes impact a child's daily life. Really quick, we need to let you know about our biggest sale of the year. Our early bird Black Friday sale starts on November 11th. During this sale, you will receive a free gift with your purchase. The catch here is that you need to sign up now in order to get access to this early bird sale. Go to harkla.co/early to get signed up, and then you can start shopping and saving on November 11th.
So as we know, primitive reflexes can negatively impact children, adults, everyone in negative ways when they are retained and they haven't integrated or matured into those higher level patterns. Now we're going to focus on 4 things today. There are obviously more, but these are the most substantial things that we notice clinically when we are working with clients who do have retained primitive reflexes. The first one being anxiety, fear, hesitation, gravitational insecurity. We notice that kids, specifically with retained moro reflexes, are just so uncomfortable and in that chronic state of fight or flight all the time. They constantly feel like a lion is chasing after them and they have to be ready to run. And that's not a very comfortable way of living. So we see that impacting their ability to get through their daily activities because they don't want to try new things. They are rigid and they are inflexible. They are uncomfortable in new situations, and we just really want to help them be more comfortable, right?
Yeah. The next thing is we're going to see emotional regulation challenges. This is going to look like meltdowns all day, every day, meltdowns over little problems that shouldn't require a meltdown. We're going to see challenges understanding others' emotions and that ability to empathize and maintain friendships. And the big thing here is just those big meltdowns where your child is unable to soothe or self-regulate themselves.
The next one we'll see is challenges with motor coordination. These are the kids who are clumsy, they lack balance, they lack body awareness, they're never picked for the sports teams, they're always picked last in PE.
That's always the worst.
Yeah, they don't want to climb on the playground, they're sitting down at recess, they just are almost more withdrawn from those social activities because either they know these activities are hard for them or they just are tired of trying and they just have given up. And so we'll see this impacting their ability to just participate with their peers, climb on the playground, play sports, or want to try to play sports, which is frustrating for a kid who maybe they really do want to play sports.
Yes. The 4th thing we're going to talk about today is attention, and this could be related to either a diagnosis of ADHD or just overall challenges sustaining attention for daily tasks. And this is really based in research. There's some research out there showing that ADHD has a direct connection with retained primitive reflexes. So we know that it's there, and we know that if a child is struggling with attention, has ADHD, likely there's some primitive reflexes that are impacting them.
So if any of these sounded like your child or kids that you worked with or any children in your life, we want to make sure that we're helping you, we're teaching you some strategies that you can do. So we'll share a few ideas. And the first one being try new movement activities with your child, with your clients. You know, pull out some oldies like the skip bop, the skip bop. We recently got one of those like pogo jumpers where it's like the intro to a pogo stick, but it squeaks when you jump on it. Hopscotch. I know there's more. Skipping is another great one. Just think outside the box and
jump rope,
obviously, classic, and help your child or help your clients learn how to move their body in order to participate in some of these new novel motor activities.
The second one here is to use visuals throughout the day. We have talked about visuals in many of our videos and podcast episodes, using visual schedules, visual sensory diets, visual timers. This really helps set your child up for success because they can see exactly what's coming in their day. It can help with that anxiety. They can see exactly how long they have to do a task, which can help with that attention piece as well. So try adding some new visuals. I know I always compare it to adults. Like, how many of us as adults use a visual calendar on our phone, a piece of paper, a wall calendar? We all do it. So let's create some visual calendars or visual schedules for our children on a day-to-day basis as well, especially if they're struggling with emotional regulation, transitions, and just completing those daily tasks that they need to do every day.
The next strategy is to modify the environment and provide adaptations if needed. So we know that for maybe a kid with a retained STNR, it can be 10 times as hard to do the same activity as a kid without a retained STNR. They're spending so much more time, so much more energy just copying the work from the board. They know what the information is, but it's just a matter of setting them up for success, like putting a copy of the paper on their desk rather than asking them to copy from the board. When they look up and they look down, they're having a muscle tone change, which is what's causing them to take so much longer to do their work. So moral of the story, provide some adaptations. I got a little lost puppy syndrome going on right now.
Squirrel.
Adaptations like a standing desk, laying on the floor to do their work, a slant board, a wiggle seat or a wobble seat, a wiggle wobble seat, a tea stool, something to just make it easier for them to complete their work more successfully. Not change the amount of work that they're doing, but just to make it easier for their body to do these activities.
Yes. The next one here that we recommend you try is to add crawling and yoga movements into the daily routine. This is really great in the classroom setting for sensory breaks and having your students crawl, do a quick yoga flow. There's a lot of different ones you can find on YouTube. Or if you are at home with your child and you guys have been sitting down for a while, get up and move, crawl, set up an obstacle course that incorporates crawling, some different head position change movements. If you are a therapist, make sure you are incorporating crawling and yoga into your treatment sessions, because I'll use my own personal story of every time I go to yoga, I'm constantly thinking of primitive reflexes as we're doing cat-cows, as we're doing our down dogs, as we're doing these different movement position changes, and I can always tell which adults are struggling the most. And I'm like, oh, I wonder if they have retained primitive reflexes. So make sure you're incorporating those movements into the daily routine in any way you can, because it really will help.
Y'all know I am also extremely obsessed with crawling. I mean, I wrote a book about crawling. Like, that's how nerdy I am about crawling. Like, you cannot crawl enough. Even our lovely videographer was telling us that her boyfriend got down on the floor the other day and was crawling.
Yes.
Enough said. It's amazing. A few additional tips we want to leave you with. Make sure that if you are concerned with your child's primitive reflexes, to work one-on-one with a professional, to find someone who is trained and who can give you a specific integration program based on your child's unique needs.
Yes. We also have a lot of other videos on primitive reflexes. One in particular is a video that shows you how to screen for 6 different retained primitive reflexes. You can do these activities quickly with your child to get a quick idea of if they might have these primitive reflexes retained.
And we also have a free webinar all about primitive reflexes, where we go in depth on what each of these reflexes are that are generally impacting a child's ability to get through their day. We'll link that in the description as well.
Yes. If you enjoyed this video, if you found it helpful, or if you have questions about this topic, leave us a comment below. We love getting into your comments and having conversations with you. Make sure you like this video, send it to somebody else who might be interested, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
And don't forget to follow us on Instagram. We love to hang out there at All Things Sensory Podcast, as well as at Harkla_family.
And if you want more content, we have a podcast, All Things Sensory. We have our own YouTube channel for that podcast. It's the All Things Sensory YouTube channel, so make sure you check that out.
And with that, we'll plan on seeing you next week for another video.
Okay, bye.
Just to take it and What am I trying to say? Okay,